All right, I've got 6:30. Let's go ahead and call our budget hearing and summary to order with a roll call vote. First of all, the Open Meetings Act is posted on the wall. Now let's have a roll call vote.
Travis Kramer.
Here.
Scott McCorney.
Here.
Jeremy Hansen.
Here.
Jason Weesey.
Good evening.
Good evening. Paul Kraus.
Here. Rick?
Everybody has a copy, right? You guys reviewed it all? Take a look at it? Okay, we'll go over it briefly. If you have any questions, stop me. I'm gonna take you to page 3. No, 2, I'm sorry, 2. This one. That's kind of a snapshot of the entire 3 years. Actual estimate on column 2 and adopted budget, what we do adopted. Okay, when you take a look on like line 24, look at that. Actual was 4,389,000 total revenue and carryover. At the end of our expected year is 3.7 million, but look at this year, 6.7. Why is that? It's that bond.
That's that big street project. That we're-
$3,000 bond is in that
3,000 would be.
3 million.
Yeah.
3 million.
Sorry, it's under other receipts, okay?
Mhm.
Everything else we'll talk about. I'm gonna go to line 27. You see that? See that percentage there?
Mhm.
That's only supposed to be 50% of expenditures. It's 111. If you go to page 2A, it explains what we plan to do to get that down to the 50% on their cash reserve funds. And that's something that we talked about with you guys. Okay,
So Rick, each showing there is streets, auditorium and parks, but that can all be spent on a streets project.
it's what we intend to.
Okay.
To keep that cash down to the
Yeah.
Page 3, that's our budget. And that $3 million, as you can see under streets, and that 45,000, I think that's, John, is that your fork or your skid loader, yeah. Recreation, I think there's what's the golf thing, the
Disc golf.
disc golf, and there's one other project in there. Anybody remember?
That should be on this year's budget, the disc golf.
Really? It's not, it's on next year's. You only got how many days left?
We've already got, it's on the agenda.
It's on the,
Okay. It isn't gonna hurt anything to have it there. If you don't spend it, you don't spend it. Okay. We must have misunderstood that. And I'm gonna take you to 23. If you look on page 4, 22, 23, under cultural and recreation, we've got 28,000 for capital improvements. So it was not in our existing year budget. Did you say you got it done?
The product is being purchased, the actual stuff. On this year's budget, we're doing all the work, so.
We're approving the payable today.
Huh?
We're approving the payable today.
We could change that if we have to. I just don't want you guys to go over budget last year. Okay. You could defer that, couldn't you?
I thought it was budgeted for
What?
this fiscal year. I thought it was budgeted for this current fiscal year. Thought that was a project that we had.
it's like $3,500, right?
Yeah.
3,500?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just about that. Page 5 is actual expenditures. I'm gonna take you to page 8. Those are lid exceptions. We had $198,000 worth of prior year capital improvement. We spent 254, so we're good there. We have 300,000 scheduled for this year with bond indebtedness of 31 and interlocal agreements of 157. That gets us down, exceptions to the lid gets us down to restricted funds of 633. If you go to the next page, our allowable growth of 2.5% and 1% is a 3.5% growth, which is $23,000. Compared, added to our 666 on carryover from the prior year. That gives us 389,000. We have a $366,000 restricted fund, and we got an excess of 55. Make sense? Follow? Okay. Okay, that's street improvement, that's the 300,000. I'm gonna take it to the next page. And our total revenue that we're requesting is.
Street improvements, is that supposed to be three?
Yeah, I know, I saw that. I'll change that. Yeah. We just can't get hundreds of millions figured out like this.
Okay.
I'll change that before we go to. The 325,000 on page 11. The bottom indebtedness, so we'll pick up 31 of that, leaves us with 593. That gets us to a 0.50 is what we could have, but we're at 0.45. Or we're at 0.50, I'm sorry, because we have interlocal agreements. So we get to add that 5 cents to it. With me? We don't have to go to the allowable growth conference. I guess they're having the county one here, aren't they? No, the county clear. This is what appeared in the paper. And if you look at that, and look on the bottom, you can see the operating budget, what it increased, what the property tax request increase was, what the valuation increase was, and what our tax rate was. And the tax rate went down by 1%. That valuation increase of 18%, that's really low compared to all the other cities that we do. It was in the 30 to 40% increase. It's nuts how that's gone up. But you're limited to the 45 cents or 50 cents if you got interlocal agreement, and that's not changing. So if your valuation doesn't change, you're going to get the same things you did last year. But with inflation going up 8% last year, 3+ this year, you're behind. Unless the employees don't want to raise, you know, one of those things. That's a bill. There's our 2 interlocal agreements, Larms and Washington County. You're getting a very good deal with Washington County. You really are. I've got cities your size or maybe a little smaller that are doing $500,000+ in police protection.
He's doing a contract tonight, he's right there.
Oh, yeah? No, yeah. Any questions? This is a hearing, so you've got to ask for, requests if anybody wants to talk. When you do get into your budget, you have to do that 1%. You have to approve that. Okay. Any questions?
Do we have any public input on the budget? You're done. So when we get to it, we'll approve the 1%. The ordinance for the annual appropriations bill. The tax levy, and that's the 3 things we need for the budget, right?
Yes.
Okay. If we have no further discussion on the budget matters, no public input. I would accept a motion for adjournment of the hearing.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn our budget hearing and budget summary for 2023-24. There's no further discussion. Let's vote on that motion.
Scott McCorney,
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen,
Aye.
Jason Weasey,
Aye.
Travis Kramer,
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. All right, hearing to set final tax request for fiscal year 2023-2024. Let's go ahead and call this hearing to order. The Open Meetings Act is still posted on the wall. Let's have a roll call.
Jeremy Hansen,
Here.
Jason Weasey,
Here.
Travis Kramer,
Here.
Scott McCorney,
Here.
Paul Kraus.
Here. This is a hearing to set the final tax request levy, and that was one we just went over where it went down slightly. Why can't I find it? Yeah, our previous 2022 tax rate was 0.532038, and we went to 0.526747. So
I'm gonna make one comment. I have to pay that bill for that. No, that was only $3,500. I don't care. That's not what we were talking about.
there's no comment on the final tax levy request. I would accept a motion for second for adjournment of our hearing.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the hearing to set the final tax request for 23-24. If there's no further discussion, let's vote on that motion.
Jason Weasey,
Aye.
Travis Kramer,
Aye.
Scott McCorney,
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen,
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. Let's have our hearing for 1 and 6 year road and street plan. Let's call the meeting to order. I think we can get through that, but yeah, anybody? Yeah.
Rick, take care.
There you go.
Take care, kids.
The Open Meeting Act is still posted on the wall. Let's have a roll call vote.
Travis Kramer,
Aye, here.
Scott McCorney,
Here.
Jeremy Hansen,
Here.
Jason Weasey,
Howdy.
Paul Kraus.
All right.
Steve, well, yeah.
Okay, Steve R with JEO Consulting Group. I will review the proposed 1 and 6 year plan. I think you all have a copy of that. If you want to take a look at the map, and I'll just go through this. So we've got, there are 4 projects that are listed in the 1 plan. Those are orange on the map. Project 36, 37, 38, and 45. Those are the streets that we did the design work on, and that will be going out for bids soon. And then the other projects listed are as shown in blue. Those are in the 6 year plan. We'll kind of go through those. Project 48, 49, and 47. Those are on Bell Street. That would be a future asphalt overlay project. Project 32, that's that intersection return at 12th Street on the south side of Bell Street. Project 46, that is a proposed asphalt overlay on First Street. And then the rest of the projects will be paving projects. So we've got project 28, that's on Ellsworth Street. Existing gravel roadway to potentially pave that in the future. Project 40, that's on 4th Street. I believe that's on the east side of the fire station to pave that section of roadway. And then the other projects, 39, 43, 39 is on Elm Street from 9th to 2nd. And then project 43 and 44 is Eagle from 8th Street to 1st Street. Really nothing different than what we reviewed previously. Just a reminder, just because these are in the 1 year and or 6 year plan doesn't mean you're committed to doing those. But it is kind of a snapshot probably future street improvements, so. Just a couple things I mentioned, the project 36, 37, 38, and 45. Bid opening on that is scheduled for October 10th. So you'll be able to consider possibly awarding that at your October 16th meeting. On Bell Street and First Street, Teal Geotech should have the report. I think they did the pavement floors already. We're hoping they'll have the report by the end of the month. That possibly we can review that with you at your next month's meeting as well, to see what the results of that are. Also, just a bit of information. I think you know this. With regard to Bell Street, there was some questions asked about whose responsibility that roadway is. Specifically, does Washington County have some responsibility for that roadway? Asked got in touch with the county highway superintendent. He sent back an email saying that they do not have any responsibility for that. And I think I forwarded that.
Yes.
Read that to you. So just an FYI. So in looking at Bell Street, that asphalt roadway isn't in the worst condition. Probably the most noticeable thing are some of the transverse cracks. You kind of feel a bump going through there. I'd say First Street is probably going to be our priority because there are some areas where probably going to require some patching and that type of thing. But that's for another time, that discussion. So any questions?
No.
And we can always change this too.
Yep.
Here if something would come up, so.
If that looks like about what we expected.
What we talked about.
Do we have any input, comment on the 1 and 6 year road plan? If there's no comment or input, I would accept a motion for adjournment of our 1 and 6 year hearing.
I make a motion to adjourn. Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the 1 and 6 year hearing. If there's no further discussion, let's vote on that motion.
Scott McCorney,
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen, Jason Weasey, Travis Kramer,
Aye.
Paul Gross.
All right. Let's go ahead and call our September 18th regular meeting to order with a roll call.
Jeremy Hansen.
Here.
Jason Weasey,
Here.
Travis Kramer,
Thanks.
Scott McCorney, Paul Kraus.
Here. Let's see, on the consent agenda, do we have anything in there that we need to consider separately? The body shop claim, that one was kind of, we had to pay that to get our vehicle back. That was money that we were given a check for. Somebody backed into one of our vehicles and we'd already been paid from their insurance company. So that was something we hadn't discussed yet, but. And the towing law, the attorney fees are for an entire year, but we will break that out quarterly going forward. Other than that, I don't think I see anything that needs to be considered separately if somebody wanted to make a motion.
What's the date of the fall festival?
She just got that STL form to me today. So it is in some of the papers I gave you. Oh, no, this is for Booktober.
Yeah.
Fall Festival, sorry.
Yeah, I was just wondering, did street closings on,
It's October 1st.
okay,
Yes. I forgot that.
so we would be approving just for closing on Sunday, October 1st.
Right.
Okay.
This towing law, is that bill in here somewhere? Cause that 10,000, is that before, hasn't that been?
He hadn't sent us an invoice yet.
I'm trying with the previous law firm, is that?
That's what, it's the same rate, it's the same rate we were paying our
Okay.
previous law firm.
Okay,
So
well, you said per year, but I was thinking we paid 40,000.
we paid 2,500 quarterly.
Oh, okay,
for-
okay, all right. I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented. I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of the consent agenda as presented. There's no further discussion. Let's vote on that motion.
Jason Weasey,
Aye.
Travis Kramer,
Aye.
Scott McCorney.
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen. Paul Kraus.
Aye. All right, this is where it's gonna get confusing with the minutes. Okay, so the approval of minutes for the August 21st lot line adjustment hearing and regular meeting.
Who's chair? So that was the meeting where Jeremy, Scott and I were.
This was our last,
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed
this
it.
was our last meeting.
You were gone for this one,
Got
Travis.
it.
Travis Kramer was absent at this meeting.
Okay.
And according to the minutes. So we would need a motion and a second from someone that was here at that meeting. At the hearing and the regular board meeting. We're approving both.
Last month.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the August 21st, 2023 lot line adjustment hearing and regular board meeting as presented.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of the August 21st lot line adjustment hearing and regular board meeting minutes. If there's no further discussion, let's vote on that motion.
Travis Kramer,
Abstain.
Scott McCorney.
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen.
Aye.
Jason Weasey.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Item 6. Item A, approval of the minutes from the July 17th, 2023 regular board meeting. So,
I was gone,
you and I were both gone.
and that's the meeting you went.
I chaired.
It was on our previous meeting minutes. Do we need those in the agenda to approve them or we refer to the last?
I gave the three that were there.
Okay, you guys have them.
I have.
Okay,
So I'll make a motion to approve the July board meeting minutes. As presented.
I'll second that.
we have a motion and a second for approval of the July 17th regular board meeting minutes as presented. If there's no further discussion, let's vote on that motion.
Scott McCorney.
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen.
Aye.
Jason Weasey.
Same.
Travis Kramer.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Abstain. Item B, discussion and possible approval of the collection system cleaning program. We kind of feel like we would like to have James here for that, so. We will try and we should probably put that back on the agenda. So we'll do that for next month's meeting. We'll table that until next month.
But worth having Mike and Dare show up to too, or or is it just a James?
I don't know. What do you think?
We can discuss that. It's a basic price, you know. We can ask if there's questions that you want to take about how. We can talk to Mike beforehand. About how valuable that's gonna be. I think it's, you know. All right, item 7, new business discussion and possible approval of a 1% additional increase for restricted funds vote. So that is not the ordinance, 677. So I think we just need a motion to approve the 1% additional increase for restricted funds. I think it just needs to read that wording.
Yes.
And does that need to be in a resolution form?
No, just that.
Just, okay. All right.
Make a motion for 1% additional increase for restricted funds vote.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the 1% additional increase for restricted funds. If there's no further discussion, let's vote on that motion.
Jeremy Hansen.
Aye.
Jason Reese.
Aye.
Travis Kramer.
Aye.
Scott McCorney.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. Item B, discussion and possible approval of ordinance 677, annual appropriation bill. And we will have to use the worksheet here to waive the 3 readings if we want to approve this tonight. So we would suspend the rules because this is an ordinance.
I move to introduce ordinance number 677
Do we want to
and
suspend the
move
rules? Oh, I'm sorry.
the statutory rules requiring reading on 3 different days be suspended.
Second motion to suspend the rules.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the normal rules requiring readings on 3 occasions for the consideration of ordinance 677. There's no further discussion. Let's vote on that motion.
Jason Reese.
Aye.
Travis Kramer.
Aye.
Scott McCorney.
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye.
I move for final passage of ordinance number 677, which reads. An ordinance to adopt the budget statement to be termed the annual appropriation bill to appropriate sums for necessary expenses and liabilities to provide for an effective date.
I second the motion for final passage.
Shall ordinance 677 be passed and adopted?
Kraus.
Call for roll call vote, I'm sorry.
Travis Kramer.
Aye.
Scott McCorney.
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen.
Aye.
Jason Reese.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. The passage and adoption of ordinance 677 having been concurred in by a majority of members of the village board, has been passed and adopted this 18th day of September 2023. All right, item C, discussion and possible approval of resolution 918-2023A tax levy.
I'll make a motion to approve board resolution 9182023A. Final tax levy, whereas the Nebraska revised statute 77-1601-02 provides that the property tax request for the prior year shall be the property tax request for the current year. For purposes of the levy set by the County Board of Equalization, unless the governing body of the Village of Arlington passes by a majority vote a resolution or ordinance setting the tax request at a different amount, and whereas a special public hearing was held as required by law to hear and consider comments concerning the property tax request, and whereas it is the best interest of the Village of Arlington that the property tax request for the current year be a different amount than the property tax request for the prior year. Therefore, the Arlington Village Board requests the new property tax rate be changed from the levy rate of the prior year to the levy rate of the general fund of 0.50 and the bond fund of 0.026747 for a total levy rate of 0.526747 for the fiscal year of 2023-2024. Now therefore be it resolved by the chairperson of the Board of Arlington, State of Nebraska, that the 23-24 property tax request be set at $593,317.68 for the general fund and $31,739 for the board fund, for a total of $625,056.68. A copy of the resolution be certified and forwarded to the county clerk.
Do we have a motion to approve resolution 918-2023A?
Second.
Who was the motion?
I was.
You were the motion? Yeah, okay.
I think I was motion because I read the whole thing.
Yeah, he's
Right, I'm sorry.
Come on, give me credit. Did the reading for crying out loud. No, I'm just kidding.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of resolution 918-2023A, the tax levy. If there's no further discussion, let's vote on that motion.
Scott McCorney,
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen.
Aye.
Jason Weasey.
Aye.
Travis Kramer.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. Item D, discussion and possible approval of resolution 918-2023B, 1 and 6 year street plan.
Make a motion for resolution 918-2023B. The chairman of the village board of trustees of the village of Arlington in regular session assembled at Village Hall in Arlington, Nebraska on this 18th day of September 2023 hereby resolve as follows. Whereas the city street superintendent has prepared and presented a 1 and 6 year plan for the street improvement program for the village of Arlington, Nebraska, and whereas the public hearing was held on the 18th day of September 2023 to present this plan, and there were no objections to said plan. Therefore, be it resolved by the chairperson of the village board of trustees of Arlington, Nebraska, that the plans and data as furnished are hereby in all things accepted and adopted.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approval of resolution 918-2023B, the 1 and 6 year street plan. If there's no further discussion, let's vote on that motion.
Jeremy Hansen.
Aye.
Jason Weasey.
Aye.
Travis Kramer.
Aye.
Scott McCorney.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. Do we want to move the ordinance employee wages to later and get some people out of here? They're waiting. Sure. Let's hold on that one until later on in the meeting.
Committee report, we just basically just had it.
Yeah,
Yep.
we don't really have anything other than eagerly anticipating bid openings. Hoping we get that done in a time that gives us competitive bids. So yeah, we'll have more in October. Yep. Discussion and approval of sealed bid. We might as well do that bid though. 3 bids is what we've got. All right, I'll open them in order from how they were laid out. First bid we have is from Mark Christie. He would like to place a bid of $9,650 even for the city pickup and plow listed for sale. Second bid from the city of Clarkson. City of Clarkson would like to submit a bid of $10,001.00 for the 2009 Ford F-250 pickup with toolbox and plow. Third bid from Matt O'Daniel. It's a bid for the village plow truck in the amount of $10,000. $10,053.
That's your winner.
That would be our high bid. So we have 3 bids. The high bid was from Matt O'Daniel. All we need is a motion and a second to approve that bid.
I'll make a motion to accept the closed sealed bid from Matt O'Daniel in the amount of $10,053 for the Ford F-250 pickup and Western plow.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of the bid received from Matt O'Daniel in the amount of $10,053. If there's no further discussion, let's vote on that motion.
Scott McCorney.
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen.
Aye.
Jason Weasey.
Aye.
Travis Kramer.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. Item C, discussion about downtown sidewalk repair. Yeah,
I just, maybe have a few questions. Got a letter, got a couple different letters from different attorneys saying it was on behalf of the city. And it said to keep in touch with the clerk on it. And so I did not call the attorney, and the clerk informed me that they no longer represent the city. I know what Mr. property down here south of the post office is one of the ones that's mentioned. And, there is another one mentioned. But what I'm here to try to find out is they put a deadline on this, and then there was a rumor going around that the city would not pay for anything after that deadline. And I was concerned. I went and saw Travis Kramer just to speak to him a little bit about it. And when I originally come to town here years ago, I had I don't even know how many years ago it was, but Linda Douglas was the clerk at the time, and she wrote me a letter stating that a piece of sidewalk over here in front of the ex-OPPD building needed to be fixed. And we kind of had different ideas on what the rules were. And at some point I read a rule that the city had regarding downtown sidewalks in the business district. And now I've gone and tried to look up what I could find, and what I had from copies from the municipal code book, and it doesn't read the way I remember it exactly. Anyway, what I want to know is what you guys need from me, but I have some questions. And this is just out of your code book. Just want you to read over these with me and try to tell me what each thing says, what it means. Okay. Under business district regulations. First thing it says is that all trees growing in the sidewalks, curbs, and gutter replacement areas, they shall be removed before sidewalk, curb, or gutter replacement. Do we all agree with that? Because I was told different in previous conversations with an ex-clerk. So do the trees need to be cut down before any work gets done on sidewalks, curbs, and streets? Because I did it the other way and didn't want to. And as soon as spring come and we got a spring with high winds, the concrete that I poured got pushed right back up, just like what the argument was about to replace it in the first place.
Terry, when was that?
I don't know what year it was. It's been many years ago. And it was going on winter time. But since then, the city has cut the tree down and patched the sidewalk where the tree actually stood. I wanted the tree to be gone first. But now we kind of got that same problem again over there. And also, in this, one of these attorney's letters, it also states that something has to be done with the trees on the west side of the OPPD office, and there's 2 trees there. Let's see. Let me get back to what I was doing here. Let's see. The next paragraph or whatever, property owners in the business district may remove trees in sidewalks or parking areas without replacement of sidewalks. What does that mean? I was told I could never cut those trees down.
I'm sorry, where did you pull this from again? I'm sorry.
From your revised municipal code book some years back.
So you got a paper copy of it?
I made a copy of the book.
Okay.
Cause I'm trying to find it online and I'm not finding it, so that's why I'm just
I
curious.
wonder if some of these have been superseded by newer ones. If you've got a paper copy, it's hard telling. And the first line that you've gotten highlighted, I don't even, does that even make sense, John?
I don't have a copy of it there, you can confirm me.
This is what I'm getting at. It's about as plain as mud. None of this stuff makes any sense to me.
I think if you're photocopying old stuff, we don't know if you've got the most current online version.
That's possible because Linda Douglas and I had kind of gotten into it on this thing because I had read somewhere previously that it pretty much said that the city was responsible for sidewalks and any damage caused by those trees. And I can remember distinctly that it used to say, or somewhere, it did say, that any streets, sidewalks, curbs, or buildings damaged by that would be taken care of by the city or by the village. And I see this one doesn't have buildings on it. And the attorney sent me two different ones here that didn't come from this. I don't know where they got these, but it reads the same, but it's got a different number at the top.
Does it have 232 up on top?
Yeah,
180?
yeah.
Yep. What was the date of the envelope? What's the postmark on it?
I think there was, well, let's see.
On the envelope, there would be.
Yeah, but I think,
Cause I feel like we've talked about this for 3 years and nothing's been done. So that's why I'm just curious where we're at.
I don't know.
It's 232, 180 now in our current book,
Okay, gotcha.
which is the envelope that he has. So I have, this means nothing to us.
Okay.
Can set that aside, because it's not accurate in code.
The tree board, that's the section.
It's 232, 180.
There we are.
Okay. So I'm just trying to find out what I got to do here in order to try to keep up and not cost me a fortune. Because the way that reads, I could have cut the trees down years ago like I asked and they wouldn't let me. Then the city cut two of these down here. And I don't know.
And I don't believe that was at your expense, correct?
It was not. It was not. But those trees were diseased and dead. Okay, let me, this bottom part here that I'm reading in this thing. It says the village shall be responsible for, and here's the part where it's got this in. Shall be responsible for removing trees that property owners were forced to plant and to correct any sidewalk defects caused by such tree planting. Or plans, I don't get this part, or plans for such tree planting when sidewalk, curb, gutter replacement was done. I don't know that there's been any sidewalk or a gutter replacement or curbs ever done down there in front of that place.
Chris, as there hasn't been any time where you as a business owner has ever been required to plant a tree, correct?
Well, I've had somebody tell me verbally that
Who's somebody?
those trees down, they've got to be replaced. And it's like,
Who said that? I need a name. You can't just say somebody.
well, I think Paul might have told me that at one time.
I don't remember telling anybody they would have had to replace the tree they cut down. I would remember comments that, you know, if somebody wants to plant a tree in the right of way, that they have to get the approval of the board.
Well, that was over there on this other one. And I said, well, I've already planted a tree, an additional tree. It was a pine.
I guess, go ahead.
Here's what my thoughts are on this subject. we have made an offer to pay for trees that the village planted in the right of way and business district.
Okay,
We've made an offer for that. Is that something you're not happy with?
well, when this attorney sends me a letter and says that you guys are willing to cover the cost of work, there were 2 trees. Well, there were 4 right down here. There's one that you've cut down over here. There's one that's down over here, and there's 2 more on the 3rd and Eagle, so that's not 2 trees.
Okay,
And I wanna know who's gonna be responsible for cutting these trees down first off. And do I still get my 12 by 12 per tree return when I fix the sidewalks?
that was the original agreement. I don't remember if we put a sunset on that agreement. But, you know, it seems like we've been talking about this for a
It's-
year now. haven't we?
It's been 3.
I think we put a deadline to get it done, which would have sunsetted, which is probably where the concern or the rumor came from. Is that it would suggest that it would be no longer offered after August 31st. However, we've got the right, the board to
We've got
revoke
the
that.
right to take care of it, and I don't know why we wouldn't.
These letters state August 31,
Okay,
but they also say that anything that the city was responsible for, that they will have taken care of at that same deadline.
well, I don't know why we couldn't extend the reasonable deadline. What I'm wondering is what's been, you know, are you waiting on something from us to move forward with the repairs of the sidewalks, or?
Well, possibly if I can do it and I can afford to do it, but I still want to know who's responsible for what, and then I have another one to throw at you. But also, in that last paragraph that I was reading, it says that all other tree removal, sidewalk replacement, and abatement of any resulting hazard shall be the expense of the property owner. And I know that Blair has run across that same argument. And in order to get the landowners to pay for it, they deeded the streets back to the landowners. But actually, where these sidewalks, I don't own where that sidewalk is, the city owns where that sidewalk's at. So they are the landowners or the property owners of that.
I don't own the sidewalk in front of my house that goes along the street, but the tree that's in the right of way that's growing up and causing that sidewalk to buckle is my responsibility. I don't get a free pass because the city planted it there, even though I could probably go back and find pictures and say that the city did plant those all at once. I feel like you're getting a fair deal here. We're offering to pay 12 by 12 for every tree that you can prove the city planted, whether it was 2 or 4. I don't think this board wants to argue about that. I think this board is willing to pay for a fair amount for the trees you can prove were there at one time.
Well, John come over and saw where I pointed out that there were 3 where he was saying needed to be replaced. But I think the sidewalk is damaged further down, and that would include another tree. Whether it does or doesn't, it's sidewalks like this is the same problem that I had over here with the city. It's a tripping thing. And so what I'm saying is there's 4 trees over here that have been removed. I don't know. I cannot believe with the many people that worked at Marshall Nurseries and what this thing contributed to this town. I can't find a picture of that thing with trees anywhere. These come out of the basement of the courthouse in Blair. And it's not a true representation, but you can see they're all up all the way up there. There is another tree, which was the last one. It's not in the picture that you guys cut down and you put a cone on it. But anyway, just to kind of prove that they were there. I'm not counting the one down by the highway or anything like that.
Well, I think it's always been kind of a gimme from this board that, you know, if the tree was there, it was planted by the village, so. I don't think we're gonna argue with you over whether or not the village planted them. We're gonna consider them trees that were forced to be.
Okay,
So we've got 4 trees times 12 yards, 12 square yards or feet,
144 square feet
144 square feet.
yeah,
at $10 a square foot. Okay. Terry, I do remember talking to you and I kind of told you that the area that I'm concerned was. Obviously.
the post office down to the building, basically, or the first door.
That's the main area of concern right now, because we've had people that have tripped on it and stuff going to the post office.
Can anybody help me with this, maybe? When I bought that place in 2003, and long before that, 2 other previous owners, and Gordon Stork, who worked for the city, they all remembered that the city used to line up all their equipment on the vacant lot there, even when Marshall Nursery was still in business before 95. And the city hires somebody to come along and do all the service for them. And I've got some people that will testify or that every time they did that service, they drove them things along the lot line and they jumped them off the curb out here just to the south of the post office. And that's where there wasn't a tree. And they drove them off right there where there wasn't a tree. And the concrete's all busted there. You can even see how it went like this from the weight. One of those vehicles was a road grader with a V-plow on the front of it. The city had a wheel loader. They also had a dump truck. I'm wondering if you guys would cut me anything on that little area.
This is when you own the property, or
Pardon me?
you own the property when they did this?
They did it through many owners.
You owned it.
They were doing it when I was too, and they did
So
it
why did you let them?
because everybody that I talked to was under the understanding the city was responsible for the sidewalks. And they did it right up into the point of where they got rid of this garage out behind here, that they put their equipment either alongside or inside. That's where the stuff used to be.
The current code for those, if you guys are looking at 1008-080.
Same language that changed.
Yeah, if you just type in heavy equipment, it'll pull up.
All right.
So none of these trees were in that area that they were driving over.
There wasn't a tree there that I ever know.
So the area they were driving over would be the width of a vehicle.
Probably
So another,
somewhere between that last tree and that building.
so what if we were to offer you another unit of,
That would make me happy.
okay? Would that be agreeable to everyone on the board? So we would give you 5 units, whatever that 144 square feet, is that what it was you said?
144.
Okay.
12 by 12. So that would be 5 units on that street.
Okay. So.
Is this gonna help you
Sure it would.
comply with the time? I mean, we're getting late in the year this year. And
I already know that.
I don't know that getting it done this year is that important to us, but knowing that it's gonna get done.
Means we had a deadline of August 31st, I'd say it's important.
Well, I tried to inquire about this and I did before that deadline. And John come and looked, and it was a week or so ago, right, John?
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
And I think, I may be wrong, but I think he told me, just hold on here, don't do anything yet.
Do you think you could get it done this year if we give you the 5? I'm just talking about this section right here. Could you get that done this construction season if we offer you the 5 units of credit?
Okay, let me ask. Was there a discussion of $10 a foot?
Square foot.
$10 a square foot? I'm talking about square foot, I'm not talking about a cube,
The square foot.
Square foot.
okay?
It has to be at the regulate, the 4-inch depth.
Okay, that was my next question, what do you expect me to? Outfit,
I would go at least 4 inches.
right,
I mean.
it's a sidewalk, I'm not driving cars on it.
It's up to you.
And I would put rebar in it also. Okay. I spoke to John about what I'm trying, everybody's got an idea. I used to do this stuff for a living. It's been a long time ago. But John seemed to think that he bought concrete at 100 a yard.
Terry, I don't know what it was.
Right.
I couldn't tell you right now. I mean, that was a spitfire guess.
Yeah. Well, I went home and called them. And it's 154.50 for the cheapest stuff I could buy. And that's a full load. That's what you get it for a yard at, plus tax, that's about 10 bucks more. And the guy told me they're 6 weeks out. Now, this is ARPS. Don't have to deal with ARPS, can deal with anybody, I understand that, but I don't want anybody to think that I'm buying concrete for 100 yards, because I'm not.
Terry, I can tell you right now that I got a bid for concrete here in town. And the guy that just did this concrete over here will tear out and do it for $10 a square foot. That's what he'll do with part.
No.
So that's up to you. If you want to call him to do it, you can. That's what he quoted me for a price, is $10 a square foot. That was just 2 weeks ago.
I have just a couple more questions.
Well, I got a question for you. So what is your intention with that sidewalk? Are you planning to replace the whole thing then? Or are you planning to patch the areas that you feel are necessary? I guess what's your intention by help, beautify and keep that property up?
Actually, what I thought needed to be replaced was more than what John thought.
Which is what?
From the post office down to the first garage door. And then there's a drive there that I don't really want to mess with, and then between the two garage doors. So there's a total of from the post office, like 157 feet.
So if you're not gonna go all the way to the highway, then why would we need to give you 4 trees then, I guess, is my question.
Because there's not one in the picture. That was there. There's a total of 4 trees.
So I'm looking at the picture, and if I'm going to the first garage door, that's only 1 tree.
Now, I tell you what, it's a deceiving picture. I can take you right down there and show you where the 4 stumps were. Because the first 2 I burned out on my own after the city tore it down. Cut the trees down, and the county sheriff comes by and told me to stop it.
So the door that you're going is the first door from the north? Or is it the second door from the north?
I can attest that there were probably 4 trees.
All right. There's a tree out of the picture here that was cut down. It's the last one cut down. It's where the cone is out there in the sidewalk. Then there's this one.
Okay.
Then there is one north of this garage door. Oh, there's one on the corner. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, and then there's one down here between.
But you're only gonna put sidewalk to here though, correct?
No, not if I have my way. From the post office over here is 61 feet something. And then I don't remember, I got the measurements over there. There's a door here, and then there's another overhead door. Do that deal. Skip the drive, because there's a drive there, and then between that garage door and this garage door. And the state did this sometime. I'm not happy with it, but I don't really want to tear into it.
Gotcha.
So Terry, you're talking up to about here?
Hey, there we go. From there to here, and then start in again and go to here.
And then stop right there. So
Cause that doorway is the one you said you didn't want to mess with. That door, that garage door, that's
Now,
that's why you're starting on the other side of it.
they're not sticking up or down.
Okay.
I
Well, I don't think anybody here wants to sit and discuss old ordinances. We're willing to offer you 5 units for the 4 trees and the damaged.
okay, now let me ask one more thing again. That curb out there is in terrible condition, and so is the gutter.
Mhm.
Now, who's gonna be responsible?
Permit gutter is the responsibility of the village.
Terry, I already told you that. I told you that before you do anything, we're gonna replace the curb and gutters that are down.
Okay. And then
And I don't know if that'll be a spot repair or if we'll end up doing a street.
Okay. And then I spoke to you. And you wanted me to make the sidewalk 12 feet wide to match the rest of the town. Well, it does and it doesn't. It's 13 foot wide by the post office down to that first door, and then it goes down to 8 foot, and it's 8 foot from there to the highway on my side. And they're not all the way to the
So
curb.
the building gets closer to the curb or the curb gets closer to the building, one or the other? There's not.
No,
I'm not seeing 5 trees.
no.
So if the sidewalk is only 9 feet wide, what's the difference?
If it's what?
3.
You said it's 9 foot down by the street.
Look at
It's 8 foot.
Eight.
It's 8 foot, clear up
on the building.
till the last overhead door. The furthest one to the north.
Yeah, that's.
It's only 8 foot.
So there's 3,
It's
and then that would.
when it gets out in front of this vacant lot.
and that's all
where it
where he wants to go.
balloons out,
Um,
and I'm,
What's match up to this new sidewalk here? What would that match be? Is that 12 foot?
that's 13 foot,
13? Okay.
yeah.
So it looks like the sidewalk in that empty lot is wider than the building. That it actually sets back. And bear with me, I'm,
It lines up with
there's that 13 foot you mentioned.
I don't know what that picture is.
Oh, I'm doing top down.
Oh,
So there's satellite down on that. So yeah, you're right. It gets wider there. And then it's narrower. The building sits closer to the street than,
it's 8 foot and there's a grass strip in there and here. And then we'll clear up to there. And then after that, from the furthest north garage door to the post office is where it's so wide. But here's my thought on that. Anybody ever got to replace water shut offs or put in new water shut offs or anything like that? Now you're gonna have to bust out concrete to do it. With a 13-foot sidewalk. Yes, they're not to the curb on the other side of the street. That's all. I'm just asking.
Well, if it's not 12 feet wide because you've got grass in there, I don't see a problem with that. The grass strips down there closer to the highway, I don't see a problem with that. As far as I'm concerned, I hope nobody else plants trees in the right of way because I don't want anybody else to have to deal with this in another 50
It
years.
was a bad move right from the beginning.
So I would be okay with grass instead of concrete if you're not 12 foot wide because you went 10 foot and you've got grass in there. I don't think that's a problem for me.
Are you saying from the
So
second,
down
from the
here where-
second one down?
Down
right?
here where
Or
it's wide, grass instead of sidewalk.
And
full
here
width.
though, the full.
If
What
you want to
about-
landscape and
that's
take
what-
care of grass, that's fine.
What I'm talking about now is in front of this vacant lot.
Yeah,
I think we would like to
Full
see
width.
that match the existing,
correct.
what we've got here. And if that's 13 foot, you know. I don't know, does anybody have a problem with them putting some grass in there and making it 8 or 10 foot wide? I don't know. I mean, it would seem like it would be easier just to put concrete down and be done, but I realize that the cost of concrete, maybe saving 2 feet would.
Well, all I'm saying on top of that is there should be some type of, if you end up building buildings like they are down there and you build them to your front lot line, And your water shut-offs and stuff, then you gotta put them in the sidewalk.
Well, there's only one there that we have to worry about, so I'm not worried about water shut-offs right now. I want to get through the cement sidewalk, what we need to do to make you happy and get this done and make it safe for people walking up and down the street. We can deal with water shut-offs later. There's not 100 of them down there, so I'm not worried about that.
How many guys would be against me having a curb cut in that lot?
Into the vacant lot?
Mm-hmm.
To drive in?
No, we're not driving over
No, we
the
can't drive over the
sidewalk.
sidewalk.
No. If I had a curb cut with a drive in the middle of that lot. No,
Well, I think you were very clear that you don't want
People
the rules
drive.
say you can't drive over it from a heavy equipment, this, that.
not,
why would you
not,
want-
not over a sidewalk, over a curb cut with a drive. 4 to 6 inches deep with limestone in it.
You want to drive into the vacant lot?
Well, I've got somebody that might be interested in buying it.
I think that takes away from parking, it takes away from all that downtown, like. You have access from the alley still, don't you? Right? Like you can get into the vacant lot that way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my
I think-
opinion.
If that was your business, would you want to enter that way? I'm just asking. I'm not.
As of right now, it's a vacant lot.
All right.
And I mean, if it was a business, if we had somebody be in front of us wanting to rezone it for a different business or something, or you had a sale contract pending,
All right.
maybe that's a different story, but
All right.
right now, we'd like to see the sidewalk done.
All right.
Is that fair
Sure.
from from the rest of the board?
I'm just asking.
That's my thoughts.
Okay.
Does anybody else on the board have different thoughts?
No,
No, I don't.
that's my thought.
I mean, we just like to see this through. That's what we're at.
Okay, I know this is a hot one, but now when we get, where are we going next? Over there? The third. Yeah,
What's your concern there?
well, this attorney wrote me a letter saying that sidewalk needed to be fixed. The tree pushed it up.
But do we need to remove that tree too?
There's 2 of them.
Then I guess we'll get an estimate on taking those trees out because that's a business property and we've
I'll be
accepted.
honest that I don't think that that's that big of a deal, but that's one of the things that's listed here. And how about down here on? You've got another one down here on the corner across from Tim Walraven's old shop, needs a lot of repair. And that one's laying there with concrete and stuff on it. There's a sidewalk that actually goes down there, all down that street, although it's buried. Am I gonna have to fix that too on another vacant lot? It's this place. Next to the Vets Club.
Have you gotten a letter on that lot?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'd like to keep it to what we've got in front of us right now.
All right.
There's not a concern about that. It'll be the same thing. I mean, we will offer you the 12 by 12 since there was a tree planted in a business.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
I'm not trying to brush you off, Terry. I just want to get
No.
through the business that we've got in front of us.
Yeah, I understand. Believe me, this is not my thing. These meetings are not what I like to attend. I'm a bad public speaker.
I think you do just fine, and I just want to make sure that we're doing what we can to get through this
Okay.
with what we feel is responsible.
So. If that's the plan. Can I at least tear out that broken concrete between the post office and the first door?
Let me know when you do, and then we'll try and coordinate that curb and gutter at the same time.
Okay.
Get that tore out and get it replaced. Because we have budgeted for curb and gutter repair, and there's not a lot of it there, so. We can get that coordinated to where we can get that done and like I said, I can give you the number of that guy that I have for the $10 a square foot, if that's something you're interested in. I say,
Is that the guy that's over here that's working
Correct.
with Mark?
Yep.
I I know who he is.
Okay,
Thank you, gentlemen, for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Terry.
All right. Let's move on to item G, water and sewer. We don't have anything from James tonight. Did anybody have any questions for James? If not, Travis and I have been talking with People Services about some things. We'll have some more information coming forward. Most likely in our next meeting, I think.
Yeah.
So we're working on some stuff there. And we'll have more info next month. Item H, Washington County Sheriff's Report. Mike,
Good evening.
waiting.
I need to apologize. I don't have the color. Please go.
Okay.
I think, so we'll approve them next month. We'll be okay.
Okay,
But I don't think there's going to be an increase.
okay.
Okay.
Yep. Good news.
Yeah.
That's not, that's the law of the land, it's from what I was reading a lot last week, so.
But that's all I have.
Does anybody have anything for Mike? If not, thank you for your patience.
No problem. Thought it better come on, since, yeah, I'm still alive.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Discussion and possible approval of the contract from the sheriff. We'll wait till next month, so we'll table item C. Item I, Parks Committee Report, Travis Kramer, Jeremy Hansen, do you guys have anything new?
No, I guess just the auditorium. Guess that'll be part of it, the library and auditorium stuff. Yeah. That we were going to move the library budget box, there's a risk with having that door to open into the auditorium. And so because we do have some concern of things that could be put in there flammable or whatever, that the risk to our building, we thought it'd be a good investment to support that box. Where actually the book drop off will be outside in a box, a locked box. And so if somebody would put something in it, we wouldn't have to.
And then seal the door going into the building.
Yeah, and then seal that, just. Other than that, I guess I didn't talk to Jeremy since, but Sheila mentioned that they asked about the bushes in front of the auditorium and thought, do we have any thoughts on any cleanup next year, doing something different? I don't
I
know.
need to talk to Sheila over at Roots to Wings. I know that they had talked about planting if we got rid of it, but I told them to let me know
Oh, cool.
when we could remove so they could plant right away, but she hasn't. I need to just contact her.
Yeah, and Sheila Brock was just asking if we'd ever consider doing something different with it to kind of beautify it, like she put it. So.
Yeah, and that was their plan. I think Roots to Wings said we were actually paying them, I do believe, weren't we?
Like a
Yeah, I thought we did, yeah.
A
yeah,
donation. I don't know if we've done it the last year or if we did it this last year. Maybe it's something we need to revisit again next year and see if they're interested in that. That if they want to do it, I mean, we have no problem tearing it out. I think we were given an allowance for plants or something is what. I know they did the one up at Veterans Park.
they did.
And it looks really nice. They did a good job.
Yeah, the only thing was Tom Clapper did send a message saying they were waiting on some tin.
Okay.
And
I was wondering if it's gonna.
I was gonna ask, I didn't know if that was supposed to be a gazebo look or.
no, that's something about they went to Menards to get the tin, that something with the tin they were getting, they weren't getting it shipped or something, so they switched to Menards last week.
Do they think it's gonna be done before the car shows up?
It made it sound like it was gonna be any day, it was supposed to be here, then we're gonna get it done soon. And I suspect he wanted it done for the car show.
Is there anything in the plans for that to run power to it? Do you know?
No.
Okay,
He never said anything
All
about
right.
power.
There's power right there at in the pool, so it's an extension cord over to it. I mean, I would rather have it inside the pool than outside. Again, people start screwing with things then.
yeah. Okay.
We have enough problem with the power in the shelter.
Okay,
The only other thing was the swimming pool manager position.
Mhm.
And that we wanted to send some information up to the school.
I did.
Oh, perfect.
Yes, yeah, so I just sent the general job description and just talked about how we wanted to reach out to them because Merritt was such a good fit and like, you know, if we could find another school personnel. Yeah, just a little bit about the job and I just said forward to anyone, so haven't heard anything back, but
yeah,
it's out there.
all right.
That's it.
Item C, discussion and approval to accept the resignation of Rick York from the library board. We'll need a motion in a second.
A motion to accept his resignation.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second for the approval is to accept the resignation of Rick York from the library board. There's no further discussion. Let's vote on that motion.
Jeremy Hansen.
Aye.
Jason Weasey.
Aye.
Travis Kramer.
Aye.
Scott McCorney.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Hi. We have a request from the library board to appoint Kelsey Wolf to the library board as a replacement.
I'll make a motion to appoint Healthy Wolf to the library board.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of Kelsey Wolf to the library board. If there's no further discussion, let's vote on that motion.
Jason Weasey.
Aye.
Travis Kramer.
Aye.
Scott McCorney.
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. Cemetery, anything new?
Quiet.
Were we talking about getting rock for that by the end of the year?
I don't think I'm gonna be able to get that this year, but I
Okay.
think we budgeted for it next year.
Okay.
And they're not terrible, they're really doing, so. We'll get some more in.
All right, under administrative, Washington County building permit report. Did anybody have any questions, concerns there? Not too much going on this month. Nothing there. We'll move on to Kate's clerk report.
Empty lots.
All about the rolling.
Do we need to bring that up and maybe discuss?
I'm just gonna, I might talk to the streets committee about what we wanna do about it, just get some input.
Okay.
I don't think it needs to be discussed at a meeting, I might just shave the edges off at least, so that it isn't growing out in the street. You need to send a letter probably.
Where's that?
Gosh, did you,
Oh, yeah.
just. We clean it up.
Well, in my clerk report, I put in there that I could send letters, to all the owners of the undeveloped lots out in Gotch, just like with the expectation of like, we'd like to see this at no longer than 12 feet as our ordinance reads, so, or 12 inches, sorry. Maria. Anyway, I did send that out, so. We'll see. What else? We implemented new rates for the auditorium and community room rentals. It's not deterring anyone from renting it, so. I mean, that's good. People are still renting it. They didn't seem bothered. Met with Larm about our insurance policies. And Terry with Cunningham Recreation about the playground, and grants with John.
Is that Turner's company?
Yes, it is.
Mike Tanner?
Mike, well, he is an installer.
He's the install.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Good,
That's what I was curious. Thank you.
yes.
Jake. I guess attended 3 webinars. The AI one was the most interesting one. We've been researching health benefits. Because, well, so since our stipend is getting taxed now, I didn't know if it was set up correctly, like the tax, and so I talked to some people. And it's fine, he just said that it's an informal and non-qualified health benefit. So, I don't know, he's just gonna show me some different formal and qualified health benefits, so that maybe full-time employees could get a qualified health benefit, we'll see, he hasn't gotten back to me yet. But yeah, lots of budget stuff, so. Been busy.
Any other nuisance letters going out?
Mm-mm. I don't think so. Well, we've had dog, dog complaints, but I'm just,
Someone asked me, are we still Dodge County? Like if there's a loose dog, it gets picked up or?
we don't have, so we
We don't have a
have an agreement, right? We don't
Right.
have a contract anymore.
Okay.
The vet still.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Like if a dog ends up there, that's who they call.
Okay,
Um,
cause I thought that the Washington County Sheriff, they were picking them up, possibly dropping them off at the vet at one time, so that's why I didn't.
and I think, yeah, I think they end up at DCHS, regardless, but we don't actually have a contract with them anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we've just had complaints about people with too many dogs, but, it's been a reoccurring thing, so I'm just talking to the attorney and going from there.
Okay, let's go to item C, discussion and possible approval of quotes from Larm for additional insurance.
So James brought this up when we were reviewing our current policies, put in there the current liability coverage, so the like cap on, like the legal liability for general liability claims is 5 million. We currently have 4. We have some others that are 3, and so he was like, we've just been recommending all towns to just bump that up to 5, just so that they're at the max. I mean, he was like, it's optional, and I was like, well, I will show them quotes, that's fine. And then sewer backup quotes, and I don't know if any of these things have been discussed before, but he said that we didn't have any insurance for sewer backups. So that if someone blamed us or whatever, we'd have some coverage. So that's that.
And who recommended this?
James Kelly, he works for Alarm, he's our guy.
So this is something we can mull over and. come back to.
This, at any time we can add this stuff, he just wanted to get to his quotes, so they're there.
Well, we need to go back to, unless we want to have further discussion on those quotes. We need to go back to the wage ordinance. Item E. That would be ordinance 676. So we've got our current ordinance there underneath.
Yeah, spreadsheet or, no, I don't know if you had them for the numbers. No, I was.
Okay, I thought you were doing.
No, I thought maybe you'd already plugged in that.
I hadn't.
Or whatever. Or do you already have them somewhere?
I don't.
I have 3% here. Actually, I wrote in for 3%. I'm not 19, not that.
A couple of quick notes on the librarian. Is the library board has asked us to adjust the hours from 19 to 23.5. She would like to be available for more weekend things, just more hours in general. I don't see a problem with that. I talked to Jeremy about it. Neither one of us saw concern with the 4 more hours of availability, but she would remain hourly, so we would know those hours exist.
Okay, so we were gonna adjust the village clerk treasurer to 47,590.40, the same as maintenance worker salary. Is that correct? that what we wanted to do there?
Talking about.
Okay, so let's put that number in first.
What was that number?
47,590.40 is the. That's what the wage was previously for maintenance workers. That's on the third page of your handout tonight.
Oh.
Now, when we go, if we're talking about a 3%. Which employees do we want to include in that? Or the percentage increase? Or are we gonna stop with not with swimming pool employees?
We made a pretty healthy correction last year.
And that included part-time works was okay. We were okay with that, John? Okay. And these are all adjusted at 3%. What we came up with. So then I would say that the discussion was 3% increase over the current salaries, including the adjustment of the clerk treasurer to 47,590.4 before that adjustment. And then the discussion was the stipend
To 850.
to 850. Is that what we? So for our 4 full-time employees, we've got a stipend of 850 in lieu of insurance to assist health with health insurance. And then add 3% to the full-time employees, the librarian and the custodian. And $50 an hour for the cleaning when the deposit is kept.
So it was how many total? 23?
23 and a half.
23, 20.
So we need to make that adjustment to the library if we increase their hours.
So that gets to 18,879. So she got,
Pretty close, yeah.
so it's not quite the 19, but it's.
And the library board felt that would be acceptable.
So it'd be 1545 per hour.
After the 3%.
And then it would be a total of $18,879. 18,879.9. On John's, I'd had 2940.
Okay, for total.
Times 40 times 61. 144. 0.10. That'd be 2357. $49. $1,811.
That would be the same on the clerk.
Deputy clerk. Be 1746.
For total.
36,313. 68.
And we already did the librarian.
The
18.
custodian would be, what's it, 12,000? Oops, 12,908. 1, 2, 3.
I don't know if that, does that matter though, Jake?
What's that?
So if you're 2940, that's not the same, because like depending on how you round it, when you round
That
it,
was the problem, yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Do we need to adjust that based off that then?
Yeah.
Just so it's. Right,
Yeah, what is it then? I don't know.
so then that would be 61,152.
There you go.
152 even.
If you're going off of
Mhm.
hourly as.
Okay,
opposed to-
where were we at on the, did you have the library custodian salary?
13,295. And 48 cents.
48, okay, an additional $50 per hour. Per hour. Need to adjust any of the other ones?
Yeah, I did them the same way, so it's probably. But whatever it is, join the other probably. For 2357.
49,025.60
cents.
So $25.06.
He's writing it all up for you.
60.
He's able to jam this to you.
That would be the same.
That should be the same.
Those two are
Yeah,
the same.
Should be the same.
One side, one's out.
Oh, 2560. Deputy clerk,
So 1746 times 2080 is 36. 316.80. There you go.
and then the second page are all the same.
Mhm.
Okay. Everybody an agreement on that? We would have to waive the rules
You want to double check them? Oops.
and,
You took that times the two, whatever, 2080, and that's how we got that. Because I had that instead, so that's why I was the adjustment. Because I did it the other way. Rounding wise, this is fine. 2357 is what we get, and then that times 2080 is that. Yep. And then that's just gonna be equal to that.
Yep.
Oops. 36. So that was 1746 times 2080.
Yep, I did.
Yeah. This one. What's that? So 1545.
45 times 25.
Then times 52, and that's what I got. Is that?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yep. And then. That one was, I just took the salary times. 3%, see if that's what she got. Yep, 13. Yep, that's what she got.
We got a match.
Okay. Looks good.
all right. So can we just say as presented? Oh,
As noted, yeah.
okay. Everybody want to look at those and make sure they're okay with that?
So we have to suspend the rules again.
And what will the date be on this at our budget year? Will it be when our budget year starts? in
October 1st.
1? Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
What's for those suspensions?
That's on the other side. Yep, right there. I move to introduce. Move the statutory rules requiring 3 readings. We will.
Got it.
You good with that?
Okay.
Go for it.
I move to introduce ordinance number 672 and move the statutory rules requiring meeting on 3 different days be suspended.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules for the consideration of ordinance 676. Let's have a roll call vote.
Jason Weasey.
Aye.
Travis Kramer.
Aye.
Scott McCorney.
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
The motion to suspend the rules was adopted by more than 3/4 of the village board, and the statutory rules are declared suspended for the consideration of ordinance 676.
I move for final passage of ordinance number 672, which reads 676. Sorry, that was the old one. 676. Which reads, an ordinance of the Board of Trustees, Village of Arlington, Washington County, Nebraska, amending ordinance number 672. The following policies of employment be adopted by the Board of Trustees.
Hold on, I guess.
That's, I
Did I mess it up?
second the motion for
Yes, you second.
final passage.
All right, I'm sorry, I lost my track. Shall ordinance 676 be passed and adopted? Let's call for a roll call vote.
Travis Kramer.
Aye.
Scott McCorney.
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen.
Aye.
Jason Weasey.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. The passage and adoption of ordinance 676 has been passed by a majority of the members of the village board this 18th day of September 2023. Unless there's anything else that anybody can think of, we tabled, skipped that we want to discuss. I think we're down to motion or number 8.
I'll throw one other thing for the streets committee.
Mhm.
I just had a customer required, it says when you come up County Road 11 at the intersection there. Must be a hump, I guess. I noticed if you drive a little quicker speed, you kind of notice that here with the grain truck or something. Must be, it'd be something you'd have to mill down, I think. It's in the blacktop itself, so I don't know if that'd be. I guess we'd have to review it a little better, I guess.
Okay,
I
one more
think
time.
we'd want to get some cooperation from the county on that. It doesn't sound like
11th Street, you said?
Oh,
where P11 comes in. That's the first street, basically.
First street, yeah.
right?
Okay.
So when you're coming from gravel
I
to.
understand.
There must be a little, he was
I know where you're at now.
kind of concerned.
I think we can look at it and talk to Ryan. In my opinion, that should be a county issue to build the road up to meet the paved surface. So I'll talk to Ryan. We can look at it,
Well,
give me a holler, see, what your thoughts are on that. Yeah.
no, I just thought I'd mention.
So it's-
What happened?
Arlington's now west of Fremont.
And Kenner's west of. Oh,
Is your computer upside down?
yep. It got flipped over. That's probably.
Hey,
Hey, there we go. Look at that. I feel better now. I'm just gonna lose all faith.
all right. Item 8, adjournment, unless there's something else anybody want to discuss. We'll second the motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and second for adjournment. Let's vote on that motion.
Scott McCorney.
Aye.
Jeremy Hansen.
Aye.
Jason Weasey.
Aye.
Travis Kramer.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned.
What section did we drive on supposedly? This here? Or this here?
Apparently, it must be between that